Having 3 different production hubs with 3 different trade unions is critical to get the gold medal. I'm Strat Gamer, thank you for tuning in to this second episode out of 7 in our guide to get the gold medal in the new Eden Burning scenario from start to finish. Before we dive in, please consider subscribing to the channel, it helps tremendously and it is just one click. Also remember that in the description below this video you can find the link to download this actual save if you want to follow along. And lastly, let's do a 10-second recap of where we are. In the previous episode, I showed you how to get a good start. First one, sending your ship to discover islands and get rewards that you bring back. 2, creating a city in the middle of the island. 3rd, to be able to actually grow that city as quickly as possible, you want to cut a lot of wood. The whole southern island that you have access to at the beginning with a lot of lumberjack huts and sawmill. Yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so we're back into our city. As you see at the bottom, we've discovered sort of halfway through the map. We have 2 of the ruins that are now starting to be cleared, and soon we'll be able to make a bridge to the middle part of that island. And as you can see, I'm starting to build at least a road and some of the buildings that we're gonna use here. And this is where we're gonna build the 3 production hubs that I mentioned, with 3 different trade unions to be able to use all of the items, legendary items that we crafted earlier. But before we do that, we need to cut the trees that are already in the way, because we don't need to waste those trees. We shouldn't waste those trees. So I'm cutting them. Obviously we'll need one new warehouse because we're way too far from the previous ones. But you can see this is being prepared. Now we have, and the bridge is done. We can also see that this warehouse at the bottom is getting a bit overloaded, and I knew that from the start. That's why a second warehouse that's being prepared when I have the resources. Of course, if you have any questions, thoughts, suggestions, don't hesitate to use the comments below or to contact me on the Discord community. You can also find the link to that Discord community in the description of the video. Okay, we're starting as always with first the lumberjack huts. As soon as I have a bit of jornaleros workforce, and then a few minutes after, you put the warehouse, because it always takes time for the lumberjack huts to start anyway, so no point starting with the warehouse. Next steps is going to be the bricks, and the brick starts with the clay pits. So I've put the 3 clay pits, there are only 3 on the whole island. That sort of limits how much you can get from that. Okay, our ship has arrived with some wood, timber, so obviously sending it right away, and then going back with some actual wood, not timber this time, to give to the castaway in exchange for fish. Okay, and we've also unlocked now the chapel, so we definitely need to put it. As I said in the previous episode, I think this layout for the town is not perfect, so don't hesitate if you have a better one to use it. The range of those buildings like the chapel and also the water pump is actually not that great on the dirt roads, and I don't think at this point that having paved road really is a good idea, given how tough it is to get a lot of bricks from a pollution perspective. Speaking of pollution, you can see we are quite good. 97% right now, all going up. We've gotten the fish from the castaway, as I said, and we've cleared the first ruins here, using the space right away to expand the town. And we definitely need to continue expanding. The town is not big enough for the end of the game. Using, if you don't know, a bit of some of the shortcuts here. For example, H to build a new house, U to upgrade it. And now that we've cleared all of the trees in this corner, I'm starting to build new fields, in particular banana and corn. Because the more the town grows, the more we're gonna need that too. Okay. And we need to start the generator. It's gonna take 1 hour and 40 minutes. So the quicker you can, the better it is. We are still very early in the game because we're, mostly in half speed or normal speed. And here I'm starting the first production hub. This is gonna be my heavy industries, putting all of these into the range. In this playthrough, I actually didn't use the P4 incinerator. I used the 3 legendary items that are linked to heavy productions. If you do use the incinerator, then you definitely don't need as many buildings. Okay, now I want to start soon the second hub, which is going to be there, where you can see, and here this will be the third hub, but there's already a lot of trees. No, there's not a lot of trees, sorry. So that's going to be my third hub, and we're going to use all of the island at the bottom, mostly for population. Continuing to check, if I find any new islands, and my ship is coming back with the fish. Continuing to grow the city as much as possible without destroying too many trees. That's really the challenge at this point. We still want to cut as many trees as possible. We now have quite a bit of wood, so I should have really, be careful about that and continue to expand. But even in half speed, I was now producing a lot of wood, so that's in a sense great, but also a bit of a waste. Time to start the mines. You need to start the mines as soon as possible to have a bit of a reserve in iron, because later on we're gonna use more iron per minute than what we can produce. So you're really limited in your production, similar to the clay. Making sure to also build new fisheries all over the islands as the production grows. Fish is still, in the sea now, trying to discover new islands. There's a few over there at the back. Going there. But yeah, so far making good progress. We are, we will have a lot more to do. We still are not giving tools, for example. We can't go to obreros yet. But the town is definitely growing, giving me more and more workforce that we can use to clear more and more ruins, and also start soon this second hub of production over there and the third hub at the top. This second hub here will be mostly for my non-polluting productions. You'll see shortly what I mean by non-producing. Of course, you need to make sure that everything is in range of the trade union. Nothing, so I'll go directly back to the next one. Checking all over my island, how many trees are left in the lumberjackets. So as soon as they're done, I want to, delete them and put more houses. I deleted 2 trees there. That's life. It's a trade-off between speed and getting the perfect number of trees. You do wait. It's good to wait though before destroying it when they actually deliver those trees. Not just when they've cut them. And starting the bricks factories. They will be in the range of that major trade union. And then the last trade union will be for all my animal farms, mainly alpaca and cattle. Really necessary right away for the war clauses, but then necessary also for many other things in the future. So that's why it's a whole trade union. I'm gonna have a lot. And they do impact your water quite a bit if you don't put the legendary item that we've put there. Continuing to grow the city as much as we can. Using our workforce as soon as it's there. Now the cattle. Need to leave the space for the silo, so that's what I'm trying to do now. I don't have a perfect layout for these farms. Don't hesitate to share in the comments below if you have found one that you really like. It's all about using a bit the space smartly, especially around the trees, not trying to cut as few trees as possible. And of course, leaving as much space as possible for actual buildings in the trade union space. Our hair is now back into negative, so we do need to be careful about that. This third, or the second hub, that I've talked about, the non-polluting one, will help with that. This is the best island of them all. 16 timber, 16 tools, and 16 electric cables. Really good. So if you can get that one right away, it's amazing to kickstart your growth. If you have questions about the islands all around, don't hesitate to check on my channel. I have a video on that topic. Also, I have another one on crates that I mentioned last time, the hidden crates inside the city, which I didn't know about when I did this gold medal. So you don't have to use them, but they will definitely help you make this even easier than what you're seeing now. And lastly, I'm building actually a fourth trade union, but unfortunately I'm not even gonna use it. You can use it, there's some good items, but I'm just not gonna in this playthrough. And this is for the forester huts. Another island with nothing. Okay, this is done and it just delivered, so we destroyed it. And we're gonna be able to put even more houses. We're also starting to reach a bit the end of the range of our first market, so we'll have to put another market soon over there. But first, we definitely need a church and a water pump. Okay, so starting those forester huts, start planting back some trees, trying to keep my forestation bonus or malus in check. You start with plus 18 and you'll see that for most of the playthrough we're gonna be at minus 18, so it's a big change. Another ruin cleared, that's the third one. As promised in this second episode out of 7, we really focused on creating those 3 production hubs with 3 trade unions. We also grew the town by quite a bit and continue to produce as much timber as we can, and we're definitely gonna need a lot more than that. If you liked this episode, don't hesitate to press the like button, and I hope to see you next time.